is a star.
Welcome y'all to another episode of the Feet Norm Podcast. I'm your host, Pascal.
It's your boy Norm.
It's your boy Leo.
And we have our special guest. Introduce yourself, beloved.
Hi, this is Marie.
All right. How you doing, Marie? How's life treating you?
Great.
First time on the show?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, all right. Welcome. I hope you enjoy our ratchetry because
Ratchet?
I mean we're righteous and ratchet, you know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what side you're gonna fall on after this episode. I don't know if you're gonna be more ratchet than you are righteous. We're gonna find out. That's the fun.
Marie, ask your son to pour you a drink right now.
Nah, no, don't do. I mean, come on, man. Why you putting the whole business out there like that?
I got my water.
And she already asked him for that. She was yelling all over the fucking mic. Mama, keep giving me water.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, how's everybody?
Anyway, that's what we're gonna get into. How's everyone's week?
Same old shit.
Staying black, staying beautiful, staying blessed.
Yeah, man.
What a time to be black.
Hopefully.
What a time to be black.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been seeing like a lot of these protesters, and it's been real inspirational. And I hope to go to one very soon.
You ain't go to one yet?
Nah, I've been working. I found out today. Actually, I was off today, but I found out today that there was one in Union. But I was already on my.
You gotta speak up.
I was already on my way to Jersey City and shit. So I was like, yo, fuck it.
You could turn around for the cause.
What happened?
You could have turned around for the cause.
Nah, bro. Like
there was one in Newark. You
don't understand. Like I was already focused on this bike ride in Jersey City. So
bro, you want to hear some of the excuses I heard from people why they haven't gone yet? Because it's too hot outside. It's too hot.
No, you want to know the main reason why I haven't gone? Because I really feel like I'm gonna get mad.
Capping. A few weeks ago, he said he went.
I never said I went.
You know why you ain't go yet? Because you looking for the right spot where they looting at. You ain't finding
no. Come on, son. Nah. It's just for me personally. It's gonna get me mad when I see a whole big body group of people are like really like they're out here and I have to beg for you not to kill me, for you to see me as a human being like yourself. Like that shit makes me mad, and I don't want to just sit back readily and just be like, oh, you know, hold up a sign. No, I want to hurt someone. I want to burn some shit down, son. Because it doesn't make sense. No. Hold on. Let me explain this to you. It doesn't make sense to me why you can't understand where I'm coming from. It's like that little motherfucker who keeps getting punched in the head. I'm just begging you to stop punching me in the head. That's all I'm doing. Like eventually, like I don't know. For me personally, I know it's just gonna get me to a point where I'm just gonna leave there upset. I'm gonna leave there just I'm not gonna get the therapeutic feeling that a lot of the people who go there get. We can see it. We can see a lot of people walk out of that situation feeling a little bit better, feeling as if they did something. I'm gonna walk out of there feeling like all I did was remind myself that I'm asking someone to take me seriously without forcing them to take me seriously.
I ain't gonna lie to you, that shit in the UK looked very powerful, my nigga.
It looked powerful.
They looked like they had the hardest time pushing that statue down the river.
Yeah,
that shit looked very
powerful. They did what they had to do.
But that's my whole point. Like this thing is global, right? So I take solace in that, but I know who I am, and I know like from my mental headspace, because in the end of the day, I'm still gonna have to go back to work. I haven't stopped working at all since the year has started. I go back to work and like deal with life after dealing with something where that's gonna be weighing on my head, and it's just like, to me personally, I just need to take. I can support from a distance because I know if I put myself in that situation, it's not gonna be good for me.
Then I don't think like, oh shit, what
happened?
Oh, I thought the shit we stopped recording. My emails just popped up on the screen. I'm like, shit. But yeah, you definitely right about that. I feel like if you go to a rally or like a protest where it's really like, you know, the mood is set, That shit, you don't know what that shit can do to you, man.
You don't know. I don't know. And I can't put myself in that position because I'm somebody who just, like, when I get to a certain point, I don't give a
Because if you see niggas looting, I might have to join. No, I'm not even gonna lie.
It's not even the looting
If
thing.
I see niggas looting.
If I see somebody getting rowdy, or if I feel like someone is getting out of pocket, like these agitators that go into the protest and start getting crazy.
You feel like you're going to
literally, my job from that night on, once I see one, my job is to hunt them all down. And that's problematic.
And that's the problem.
That's who I am, though.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot just talking about this shit. And I'm not like,
watch it from the news. Just watch it from the news.
But even the news is bullshit, son.
The
news is bullshit.
Yo, real talk. Shout out to my parents, because I've honestly been trolling them all fucking week. Like, starting with my dad.
Nah, don't do that to them. Don't do that.
My dad thought, my dad thought that I went to the protest. So I told this nigga I went to the protest.
Because they know who their son is.
And you know Haitians, man. Like, Haitians gonna think, like, you go to something like this, you crazy. So, like, my father was like, "Oh, you crazy?"
Wait, none of them went to the protest when they was protesting for the HIV/AIDS shit back then?
No, but here's the thing.
Yo, my mother, even my mother.
Hold up. You can't hold Haitians to the same. You can't hold Haitians to the same level, because to them, protest means someone's dying. It's going to be completely
it's not a
because
that protest means
that because it's totally different down in Haiti opposed to being
they protest like they fighting for slavery, or like fighting for abolishment of slavery. Like that's why when they hear you say that, like, oh, I'm gonna say the door. You gotta put your headphones on,
Leo. You sound mad muffled. But you don't see the protests in like Mexico where they fighting because they killed somebody. Like, they saying the police killed somebody in custody. Yo, they lit the cop on fire while he was riding his motorcycle.
That's what we need to do.
No.
What?
We're not doing that. We're not talking like that, bro. We're not talking like that. That is wild, son.
Barbecue chicken.
Oh, my God.
I'm joking. It's all joking.
Yeah, Mexico, that's crazy, man.
Them cartel niggas is something else, man. So we need some cartels in America. I think that would shift it. We wouldn't need.
I don't think it was straight up cartel. I think it was straight up just the people upset. Yo, think about it. The police.
No, I completely agree. The people are upset, but the people are also the cartel members. Remember, you've seen Narcos. You've seen how they gone. Like, they went to the everyday. Some little kid who you thought was out there playing soccer with his homies.
He could just be.
It's on a roof giving a signal like, yeah.
But hey, let's get into
Marie, hold on. Before we take off, I think as a lot of times as a show that's predominantly ran by black men, we don't necessarily ask black women how they feel in the situation. Give me a highlight and a low light of this. Like, what's one thing that you're happy is brought to light as your plight as a black woman, and one thing that you would also want to be brought to light?
Honestly, one, I have yet to attend any of these protests.
I mean, there's plenty of people out there. I mean, I can understand people missing the protests. I completely understand that part. I can understand, but
and honestly, you could honestly say it opened up our eyes to see what's currently going on during this whole quarantine. Everything is opening up. All of this been happening a long time ago. It's just that now we're not out there. We're not being on the outside scene. Now that we're seeing that everything is happening, opposed to us being closed-minded, being out in the open, doing this, doing that. All this been happening. It's just that now we're finally really seeing. Yeah, we're focusing, seeing what's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm. That's what I
say. What you said last week, Marie.
Even when outside open, people got to keep. You got to keep your foot down and keep working, man. Because if you give up, man, this shit is just going to be another story again. It's going to be happening. It's going to be the same shit again.
I'm not going to lie to you, Marie. Marie made me realize last week, like, we're watching the memorial for George Floyd, and I completely forgot that we still in quarantine. Like, I literally completely forgot we were still in quarantine. And then
at the same time,
look at all these thousands of people that was still there. My man Sharpton didn't have a mask on while saying that whole speech, bro. And I'm when you talking, you can't put no mask on, bro.
When they talking, they don't put mask on.
But you had Ludacris sitting out there. You had what's his name?
Oh yeah, everybody at the funeral didn't have a mask on.
They was sitting there with no mask.
Hold up. Let's get this whole COVID thing. I'm gonna put a bow on this. The main reason why, no. I have a legitimate, like, I think the news really pushed coronavirus past anything. Like they took it and they ran with it, and it made it seem like it was bad. I'm not gonna front. It was bad, but it's because of the lack of preparation we had coming into it that when it hit us hard. Right? They've seen spikes, but they haven't seen spikes like we had when this thing first started, right?
Yeah, it's down. Like in New York, I think it's like down to like 40 deaths only. Before, you remember, it was like at 1,000 deaths in a day back, like in the beginning.
And yes, New York, a lot of people out there have masks on, but a lot of the motherfuckers are shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like the media overhyped it, and then we acted accordingly, which is nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm just fearful of the fact that like Trump opened up the borders. I mean, not open up the borders, but open up the country like maybe 2 weeks before this whole thing happened, or like maybe a week before this whole thing happened, and subsequently like he can actually blame it if the numbers do spike off of that. That's my biggest fear, is that he's trying to use a protest to blame any spikeage of the coronavirus. But I do not believe coronavirus is as bad as we thought it was initially.
Well, we're gonna find out. June 15th, a lot of things start opening. By the end of the month, everybody's gonna be outside.
But you know the crazy part is, I don't think that's gonna change anything. I feel like the people who have a job are gonna be there on the weekends, and the people who ain't got shit to do, because there's a lot of little kids. You don't see a lot of little kids saying wild shit. Like they're basically on the proper side of history.
You know who I stopped seeing on the by the side of the parkway? Them little kids that be in Newark begging for change, talking about something. I'm doing this for my football team.
Well, they don't even be. You talking about?
But they don't know if they have football next year.
They don't even be out there no more.
They don't even be begging.
That's one thing. I kind of feel bad for the children. Like my son been in the house since March.
Yeah, but you want to know something? I feel bad for the ones whose parents don't let them out and do other things, but for the ones whose parents give them luxury or liberty, basically, they've been out there like really. Come on, like obviously you have some horseshit kids who just for some reason just don't believe that this protest is something real and that it deserves the proper attention. But for the majority of the kids, they're out there with love in their heart. And like
you even try, like to have a kid and to send them out it's really not that easy, because as a grown up you kind of like watch out for mad things, but as a kid you don't believe all the stuff you hear. You just gonna go everywhere. You gonna do whatever.
No, but as a kid, you follow your heart. Kids follow their hearts more than adults do.
Well, I'm talking about COVID while. I'm not talking about like the whole process. I'm just talking about like I can't blame somebody who keeps you in the house. Like it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation out there. Like there's kids on my block, and I see they be coming down here to play with the other kids, and they be wearing masks to come play, and I'm just like, that mask really at this point, what is that mask? Because if they playing together, like I don't really think that mask is really doing anything for those kids at that point.
Outside, it's beneficial. Inside, not so much.
I don't know what he do anyways, but still,
because
touching the same things, it's still kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Well, washing your hands kills all that.
Every time you touch another person, you're gonna go wash your hands. And you expect kids to do that? Good luck.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
now, at first, like when this shit first started, like Ava would be afraid to touch people. Like she didn't even want to hug me at one point.
But that's because they told her, you know what I mean? It's based on her family told her. They was like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And kids gonna listen because they don't know anybody at first. But as soon as they get to a certain age, that go out the window.
Who you telling?
That go out the window.
I got a question for y'all. As two people on the show with children, what's the best way to tell your child about? I mean, like Leo, I know you don't have to cross this threshold yet, but Murray, I know you probably have. Like, what is the best way to go about telling your child this? Because you don't want them to feel inferior, but you also want them to be aware. So, like, what was your course of action?
I actually this week over the weekend, I saw the Sesame Street thing having a town hall meeting with all the puppets and shit to teach kids about Black Lives Matter. And I was like, I immediately saw this, and Sesame Street is like a show that my daughter watches all the time. So I automatically saw it, and I was like, yo, Ava needs to watch this. Like I already know how I'm gonna have my talk with my daughter growing up when it comes to all these issues that we're having right now. The same way Norman's dad had this talk with me. Like, not only you black, you Haitian too. Keep that in mind. So,
you want to know something? Before you continue on, I just want to say, like, parents used to always tell me that, but like, that put a battery in my back. Like, when you told me, "Oh, you're not only black, but you're Haitian too," I'm just like, so. Like,
nah, they ain't like us back then, bro. They ain't like us back then.
I don't know. When I was young, I was really big on, like, I mean, you know what it was? I went to private school. I was the only
black kid.
It was like 5 Haitians. No, there was a lot of black people. It wasn't just that many Haitians. So I was but
did you talk to your son about this whole situation? Like, do you tell him?
He's aware. Every day he watches the news. He's 15. Come on now. He know what's going on. He know from the right, the wrong. And plus, a majority of all my male friends are officers. So,
but how do you deal with his temperament in the sense, like, to be a young, like, I remember when I was young, I was almost once a week, I'd had a whole Cuba Goodie Jr., like, Boys in the Hood shit, you know, just mad, just throwing punches. How do you temper that sense of anger with the realization that, like, a lot of people in this world just don't?
Maybe you had that anger. Does he have that anger? That's the question you should ask.
No, my son is not like that.
Yes, no. Well, I mean,
that little boy quiet.
Yeah. Like, he stays to his
the quiet ones you got to worry about. It's the quiet ones that fill trash cans with bombs and just sit back, sipping the tea, watching the shit blow. Like,
nah, he's not like that.
Like the Joker and shit.
Nah, he's not like that.
Yo, Leo, I see you got Jay-Z every week. What Jay-Z do this time that you got to add him on this?
Come on, yo, fuck out of here, nigga.
Same shit he did last week.
Yo, shout out to Hope. Yo, deadass, I want this nigga to just run for president at this point.
What did he do? Just
this nigga last week.
Run for president, Leo. Run for president.
Last
week, Hope had the legal team for what's that dude name? Ahmaud Arbery. Mm-hmm. He had him flown in his private jet to Atlanta.
Wait, why weren't they in Atlanta already? I'm confused.
Are they really? Well, he had them on a private jet.
No. They're a legal team. They're a legal team. Your legal team could be from anywhere. Yeah.
Oh, so they probably paid for some high class show. Okay.
Which I thought was dope as fuck.
Yeah, but I feel like that ain't nothing for Jay-Z though. That really ain't nothing for Jay-Z.
You know how Leo,
his own private jet probably ain't
love.
It ain't nothing.
All right, so does anybody have a website? Like, I've been trying to get my hands on these black-owned businesses in Jersey. I've seen tons of stuff for restaurants and all this stuff.
There's actually a website. I'm gonna send it to you. in the future.
Does they have it broken down by states?
I believe they do. I know a couple that were in Jersey. That First Republic was actually one of them that was on there.
I mean, of course.
Stage 5. It's a couple that's.
If you find the website, make sure you get that to us.
Yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll find it for y'all.
The other thing I was saying, do we know any black supermarkets? Because, like,
I don't think there's none around here.
I've gotten back into cooking because of this whole thing.
What you cooking?
Well, what you laughing at, girl? What you laughing?
Like, I don't know how to cook. Like,
I'm sorry. I do apologize.
I could definitely hold my own.
I apologize. I apologize.
Yeah,
go ahead, continue.
A while back, one time after recording one of these episodes, like, I was.
Oh shit! Some nigga shit freezing. What's going on? Oh fuck.
Episode. That was back when we were in the basement.
Yo, was y'all all like, yo, my shit froze like crazy.
Yeah, it did froze. It did freeze. And I literally asked you, no, you remember what else when it
my shit
froze
was
again?
frozen for like a minute. I'm like, yo, if nobody's moving, this shit probably fucked for a second, but yeah. It didn't catch anything I was talking about though.
But anyway, what I was saying is, remember the time I cooked the tacos at the one of the
that was straight. That was good. Yeah, that was good.
Like, I gave these niggas guacamole the whole nine from scratch. Made guacamole from scratch.
But that's probably still basic to her though. She's thinking like meals.
So what do you want me to do? Me in a flash? It took me 32 minutes to make that meal for them niggas, son.
So what else can you cook? Can you cook like pasta? Could you cook like?
I can cook pasta with no. I'll give you al dente pasta. I bet you most of these niggas don't even know how long you should cook pasta to make it al dente. I know.
Oh, okay.
I don't even need to.
I can make my own pasta from scratch.
Y'all know I could cook.
Yeah, Leo, we get it.
Yeah.
Right,
He drowns you in ippies, though. He drowns you. Every little spice you ever seen in your life, Leo will drown you in that shit. I ain't gonna front on them scallops is popping though.
So all four members, all four officers in that George Floyd case.
No, they're members. No. You said the right thing. All four members.
Two of them were just rookies.
Rookies.
They were just following.
What a way to start your fucking career.
They should have paid more attention in class.
That's a hard thing to go. Think about as being a rookie. Can you really tell a guy who's been a cop longer, like, yo, you gotta ease up? Like, he gonna look at you like,
okay, what's the word? I would take solace in the fact that I did it because in the grand scheme of things, police officers can move from one spot to another. Man, y'all interchangeable.
You're right. But my thing is like, I really want to understand, like, was there really, because as it seems now, it looks like the George Floyd knew that guy personally because they used to work at like
they used to be.
Yeah.
So it just kills me. Like, was there something personal that like really made this dude just sit on his neck for 8 minutes? Like,
it could have been. It could have been that.
Mind you, he was already in the police car. He pulled them out. Didn't put him on the ground. It's like, what was going on?
It could have been. He could have smashed his girl. Like, these niggas is bugged out, bro.
Well, it don't matter if he did or not,
bro.
man. You gonna help
these cops, these cops are bugged. You know, y'all never seen cops go off on a nigga before? Like,
of course.
I see this shit in the hood all the time.
I'm not gonna make it seem like cops don't have it hard too, though. Cause
nigga. Niggas, son, my nigga, you already, to me, right? I'm gonna tell you right this. You already got the authority to stop somebody. Why be all brutal and like do all this extra shit? I've seen niggas get they face stomped out.
Advocate right now, but all I'm trying to tell you, you remember when you was telling us that story when you got pulled over in that parking lot for busting that illegal U-turn? What was your first reaction when she pulled you over? Why the fuck you pulled me over? Like, come on, son. You can't be coming like you got pulled over.
That's fair. I agree with Norm to that.
You know what you got pulled over for?
But
come out for no reason.
Norm, I agree with you with that extent. But to combat that, what I would say is that a lot of times we're asking regular, everyday civilians to not only be a psychiatrist, but to also be somebody that they weren't trained in. Like, they get trained in just being a police, but you can call the police for almost anything. If somebody's running down the street butt naked acting crazy, you call the police. They're necessarily not a threat to anyone. They have no weapon on them, nothing. But you call the police for that. That's the problem. Like, we can't.
That's why they want to defund and bring in more stuff like,
Defund is the worst word for that. You should.
That's what I know. It definitely is the worst word because
you should never use defund.
They need to move
the proper term they should use is reallocate.
You sound like your commander in chief right now.
Ooh.
Nah, but I'm just saying.
Trump.
To be honest, talking about defunding the police, did you guys see the situation after?
Hold on, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get to that in a second. But I'm saying something. You made me lose my whole train of thought. It was a perfect point. All right, so this is what I was saying. All right. So we're asking police to be all these other things. Meanwhile, soldiers have gone to war. Like, this goes to what you were saying, Leo, how like police have a hard job. Yes, they have a hard job. But who you'd say job is more difficult? Somebody who's in the military at war or a police officer?
Somebody who's in the military at war.
A lot of times when you're in the military and you're at war, in a war zone, they tell you to act with a certain level of precaution, that they don't act like... When you're in a war zone, you're taught to take that little half second to think before you pull the trigger. right?
Nigga, I've heard some.
I don't think you can really
I've heard some crazy stories,
in
nigga.
that position.
I've known people. I know people
because you've heard stories
I got a man
who just killed people like nothing when they was out in war.
I understood that. I understood that.
Man.
I understood that. But in the same sense, you've also heard stories in certain places when you're deployed that you have to handle everything with kid gloves. You have to have a certain level of like you need to be more reserved for the simple fact that like when you kill this person in this area, it's gonna be big news things. It's like, trust me, I've known people that went to war, and I worked with someone who came back from war after like the whole PTSD, like his shit got bombed. He went through all that extra shit. And he said, like, you have to have a certain level of pullback because you can't just start shooting and getting crazy. So why are we asking that level of decorum for somebody who's in a war zone, but it's so out of mind. It's so crazy to ask that of somebody who's sitting here dealing with another potential U.S. citizen or another human being. Like, that person is not going to, like, a black person is not going to shoot a cop. Like, it's just not going to happen because we know, even if you survive.
Who not going to shoot a cop?
A black person is just not going to just.
You gotta, yo, you heard of stories like that before, man. Don't say stuff like that, bro. A black
all in all, I feel like cops are way more aggressive than we are to them. There's no.
It could be your opinion, and I believe in that. And a lot of times that could be the case, but at the end of the day, I understand what we fighting for here. But still, at the end of the day, the defunding the police, I don't think that's like the best option.
I don't think defunding the police is a horrible term. It's a horrible term to use. Reallocate police funds is a necessary thing because I do feel like at times we have way more police than we actually need. Some city, West Orange, I feel like we have a lot of police that aren't really doing anything. A lot of these towns have a lot of police officers that aren't really doing much.
Could be true, but we really don't. I don't know.
Reallocating the funds.
We could use some of the money for some other things for sure. But I'm gonna skip over one thing. But in Minneapolis, they had the mayor show up to one of the protests, and they was asking the mayor, is he gonna defund the police department? And of course, he couldn't just come out and say yes. So he gave a whole.
But that makes sense. That's my whole point. You can't say yes. You can't.
So the worst problem about this shit, as soon as he started giving a whole bunch of like lingo of like what's gonna be done, all the people there just started saying it's a yes or no question. And of course, he ended up saying, no, it's not going to work like that. And man, when I say they ripped that guy, everybody, shame. They want
but see, that was that's where the young lady fucked up. Because if it was for me, once he said no, I'd ask him why.
No, he did.
Because
but he had no chance anymore.
That's my point. That's where she fucked up. She has to give him the opportunity to say why. So hold up. She has to give him the opportunity to say why. So if his reasoning isn't up to par, then you denigrate him, you kill him. But like kill him in the sense like kill him, but I mean like kill him politically.
I think the only reason why they feel like that is because maybe we don't understand how much they go through with the police already. I think maybe in Minneapolis, the police problem is bigger than what we think it is. So that's why as soon as he was giving all that runaround, they just upset now because I guess they're already dealing with a lot with the police already. So that's why
fair. But as a mayor, you can't just completely defund your police because the grand scheme. Because you can't do that. You can't do that because you still need somebody to hold law and order. You need somebody to go out there and do the job. So if you defund them.
But P, sometimes you have these cops who are just literally sitting around at a construction site and they're getting paid $80 an hour, my nigga.
The police who sit at a construction site, that's just from time to time. Don't think that same cop who sits at a construction site does other work too, bro. He doesn't just sit at construction sites, nigga. That's because that's what they put him on duty that day. There's other days he's doing something else.
Not only that, depending on the police force, they move you out like every two, like you're at the spot for 2 hours and then somebody else comes in and then you have to patrol and do all that extra shit. But the main reason why you can't defund the police because the police still needs to protect people. Like we act like there's no
you see the way
there's not criminals out there.
Some of the way they was gonna do it, because they said in Minneapolis, a major of their 911 calls are mainly like mental health situations. So that's why they would say a lot of the money should go towards having like social workers out there and stuff. It's because they can deal with those problems better than the police can. But I understand that. But at the end of the day, the mayor said he still wants to keep money in the police department, but he wants to get rid of a lot of the bad cops, and also he wants to put money into other things that can help the city instead of having a police force. But it's like when they say defund, they're not going to defund it. Like they just going to probably move some money around. But I tell you, one city that's going to do that is New York City.
No, New York will never. Yeah. But what I do believe is that they should release like an officer, and like when someone's like mental issue is the problem, send out a social worker and 2 officers to back her up. That's all you need. That's all you need. Because she's going to try to at least give the person a position. I said she, like I just only assume that women can de-escalate things. Because
he said, why? Why do you think women can de-escalate?
Because men have egos, man. Like a lot of
you have some females that have egos too.
That's what
they do. But for the most part, any woman that's working in social health or social security, is it social security? Is that what? No. Whatever. Social worker. Any woman that's working in social work is someone who can actually. There ain't no hothead working in social work. I've never heard of that.
I don't know about that all the times, man. Because some of those social workers who
wait, time out. Who do you know who's working in social work that's a hothead? I want their name and whatever.
Right, you know, some of the social workers who be pulling them kids from their families. They hot as hell. They don't play no games. They become
sometimes
crazy,
sometimes they're somebody's unloved child though. You gotta keep that in mind too.
That's what it is. Man, shout out to DC Mayor. They decided to rename a street in Washington DC to Black Lives Matter. What street is that exactly? Where's that coming off of?
It's what's the name of the street? It's leading up to the White House.
Oh man, that is great. They even did the whole street.
Yeah, you didn't see the aerial view?
Nah, the Black Lives Matter. Oh, it goes up that high?
It was on there.
Well, and then
like it's in Google Maps, bro.
Did they get rid of that or what?
No, I doubt that shit's still up there.
Yeah, because I seen they put that on the ground too, defund the police. And it's crazy out there. You know how Trump put a fence around the White House? They already used that as like a Black Lives Matter memorial and shit. And I'm just like, yo, these people is not playing. They whatever he do, they ready to attack.
I feel like at times like we're using Trump as a scapegoat when we shouldn't. And I say that to say this, like when you're using the symbol that other people use as their sense of empowerment as a scapegoat to why you're in the position that you are, you push them against you. You put them against you.
Oh yeah, 100%, man.
That's why we shouldn't give him so much credit for the little petty things that he do. Some shit you just gotta ignore.
I just want to know, does this nigga phone ever die, yo? Because this nigga stay tweeting.
You're the president.
Yo, my nigga be on 10 though, so I'm like, yo, you don't ever have a chill moment.
He knows what he's doing. He dividing us. That's all he really is doing out there, man.
And that's the point. That's what I'm saying. Like we can't. A lot of people are pinning all these little shit on him. Like some of the stuff you just gotta let it go because it's bigger than just him. This is going on when our ancestors were let have slavery.
I think it's so crazy where the divide is. It's like to a point where it's like you got to take sides. There's no more like you neutral in this. Like it's either you with us or you not, and that's really what it is, man. And it's crazy. Like if you see some of them protests in like Long Island, you like, damn, that place is racist as hell out there, man. Long Island is racist, man. Shit,
nigga,
I'm not surprised by that though.
You buy a whole bunch of rich motherfuckers by Jones Beach.
No, but they're not all rich though. To be honest, man, it's just
all right. So it's on. All right. So the Black Lives Matter symbol in DC is on 2 streets, 16th Street in Washington DC. Basically, it's the street that leads up to the National Mall.
So now with Breonna Taylor case, I see they reopened that. They investigated. So this is my question. Because you see, I'm always trying to not play both sides, but get understanding of this. So I understand the police shot her wrongfully, but aren't they going to be able to get away with that? Because in a sense, it's not their fault. In a sense, you know what I mean?
It is their fault because they ran into the wrong house.
No,
everything that they did was wrong.
They did not have a warrant. They went into the wrong house.
Yeah,
now the nigga had the right to.
No, they didn't have the warrant for them to have to knock. But in that state, you don't need that type of warrant. You could just go.
Nigga,
that's the thing.
They had no probable cause.
No, but
the house. Period.
The warrant was wrong. I get that. But
the warrant wasn't for that house. Period, my nigga.
I know they went to the wrong house. I get that. But now, whose fault is that? Is it who did the investigation?
It's their fault, bro.
I get that.
The person was already in jail a week ago. They had no business going there in the first place.
Okay, relax.
Listen.
My question is,
no.
How did this all go wrong though? Like, that's crazy.
That's their fault, my nigga. That's their fault.
You seen The Wire, no?
Listen, the person was already in jail since a week ago, my nigga. Like, they had no business going there in the first place.
How did they not notice? Like, this is crazy.
Hold on, you've seen The Wire, right? You've seen how many times The Wire where what they perceive to happen is not actually true. Sometimes they run down on the wrong person. We've seen that shit happen, right? That's what that situation is. And I truly believe that they let that gentleman, a man who was shooting back, they let him go because of the fact that, like, he was actually defending his house, whatever. They let him go just so they don't have to charge any officers. All in all, I feel like the FBI going there is just like, it's bullshit room service. So it's just like, it's just to show face. Like, it's just to make that shit happen.
Yeah, because I really want to see
because you can't charge the officers because they're following an order.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get at.
And you can't charge the police force because, like, yeah, for negligence, but who am I going to punish for that? Like,
so
it's just a financial ramification.
So you mean to tell me somebody ends up dying at the end of the day, get shot 8 times, my nigga, and they were at the wrong house. So you mean to tell me nothing should happen? Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not saying, Leo, I'm not saying nothing.
My nigga, it don't matter, my nigga.
Leo, let me explain this. Who are you going to charge?
What you mean? Who am I going to charge?
The police.
If I'm a judge, my nigga, I'm still charging the police because it's like, yo, out of negligence, my nigga.
I say he's not charging the police individually. He's talking about the whole
police force. So
exactly.
But there's no one you're going to send in jail. You're just going to send money.
It's going to be a civil.
That's the point.
It's going to get money.
It's just money. It's just money.
It's going to be money because you can't really send nobody because it's a warrant. Like, the police didn't probably even do the investigation. All they do, they're given a warrant. They say, go to this house and find this person. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, how you going to charge those police for that? That's what I'm trying to say. It's kind of a hard link. And it's sad, but at the end of the day, it happens though, and I get where we're trying to fight it, and I hope the best for it. But
like the only chance you have at charging someone is if the detective who was on the case, who presented the warrant to the judge, and the judge signed off, and then he knew that it was the wrong address, or then he was the one who shot the young lady or whatever. That's the only way you could actually put someone in jail. Otherwise, it's just the system. As fucked up as it sounds, and that's what we need to fix, the system. The police need to check and balance. There's no check and balance, and it needs to be third party. How can you ask a police officer to reprimand another police officer that they may have gone to the police academy together with, like, and then the other guy went up the ranks and became IAB or whatever the fuck they call internal affairs, and then the other person is just a beat cop, or he just became a detective, or things like that. Like, you can't. It's hard. You can't have those same. You can't have the police people. Like, if you my boy, if they told me I had to put you away for 25 years for a murder you committed, and I don't even know the nigga or really like the nigga, guess what?
Word.
I'm letting you walk, fam.
Word. It's a hard one there.
I'm letting you walk, and if the nigga's rude, I'm gonna let you walk, and I'm gonna be like, yo, don't even put him on probation. Like, do you understand that much?
Let me ask you a question. So today, Congress, the House of Democrats revealed police reform to hold police officers accountable. How do y'all feel about that?
It's only right.
It should have been like that a long time ago.
Right.
The thing is, like, all right, so if it's a third party, what do you want it to be? Private, or do you want it to be state regulated? It can't be state regulated. It can't be someone you elect. It can't be any of that. It needs to be completely third party. It needs to be
if you think the police department gonna do that, all they gonna do is justify everything.
That's my point. That's why it needs to be completely and utter. It needs to be.
Ooh. But yo, it's gonna be so messy because even if it's private, man, the police got money, man, and they will get shit. Even if it's private, man, they will clean shit up, man. You know.
Mm-hmm. Nigga.
That's why it's a hard battle. But that's why we gotta be the police. You know, we police what's going on. Next time you see somebody getting stomped out, you jump in. You know what I mean? If you see a cop.
Yeah, but where does that put you? So what if they kill y'all both? Then what?
Nah, y'all both going to jail. That's it. At least somebody ain't died.
You're both going to jail. What if someone? All right. So Norm, the cops are laying on George Floyd's back. You standing right there. You go and you boom rush one of them. I mean, you could easily get past that Asian nigga because he was literally just there for shits and giggles. Like he was just there. He was just there to show people his badge number and his name. That's all he was there for, right? Like, you get past that little bitch ass nigga. Now you push those two cops off of him, right? He's able to breathe or whatever. Now they arrest you. They beat you up. Now, like, let's just say they're like, I'm gonna get away from the scene, right? This is it. They put y'all both in the same cop car. They drive anywhere with you. They can drive anywhere with you and beat the dog shit out of you.
You right, yo. Honest, I got no answer for this one, but man, it's just tough, man. Just seeing it, it's like, damn. So you're supposed to let a cop just sit there and just sit.
No, what the answer needs to be is that after, first of all, we treat cops like to treat people. 3 strikes and you out. Right. So excessive force complaints by a third party that proves that you're out of pocket, you're out of police force. Even if you don't get 3 excessive ones, for each one that you get should be a knock on your pension. Because a lot of people join the police force just to collect a check. We're talking about basic dumbass niggas. That Asian nigga, do you really believe he was one of, like, not to sound bald racist, but like, was he the best of the Asians?
No, what does that mean? What does that mean? I need to understand that, bro. You sound crazy. It sounds crazy.
Was his tiger mama proud of who he's like? Now let me stop. Anyway, what I'm saying
I think he's like the brother-in-law of the what's his name?
Even more. That proves my point even more.
The white cop's wife?
Yeah, I think they're like related or something.
Chill, don't say that. Don't say that. But if that was true,
seriously.
No, but time out. But if that was true, that's nepotism. It's not that's nepotism. That I don't know if I used that term properly. So all you educated people who listen to the show, excuse my ignorance. That's nepotism. That's like that's my point. That's my point. The fact that you're able to become a police officer because you know another police officer or because you know someone else is the problem. The biggest gang in this world is not the Crips, it's not the Bloods, it's not the Taliban, it's not ISIS, it's not Antifa. It's the police.
I hope you never got to call them, bro. At that point, I hope you never got to call them. Because the way you coming, if I ever see you call the police,
this nigga love the police. This nigga love the
police. I love the police. I'm just being funny. I'm just like, the way he's saying this is like, I hope you never have to call them, man.
But here's the question. No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Ask them to denounce that. Ask them to prove me wrong.
I have a question then. So, Leah, if you see somebody breaking into your car, are you calling the police?
No, I'm whooping that nigga ass like J.R. Smith. You
So,
stupid.
are you going to call the police after me?
You stupid. Call him for what?
Now, what if he whooping your ass? Hold on. What if he whooping your ass now and you could get in touch with your phone? What are you going to do?
No. If you got to
call the police.
You call the police.
No.
Yo, listen. I'm going to let you know right now. I got something in the truck. Right now, I literally got something in the truck.
He got that chitty bang bang.
You understand? The only thing you could get to is your phone. What are you doing?
Calling 911.
You calling your cousin to come?
I'm gonna try my best to fight that shit. I ain't
oh my gosh!
All right, no. But here's the thing: you call 911. All right. So what if
I know I got something in the car? If I know I got something in the car,
but you're
asking the worst person. No. Time out. What if it's a white boy beating your ass? Are you calling the cops, Norm?
No, I'm gonna whoop his ass.
You hear what I'm talking about? So you think you could whoop his ass? No. You think you could whoop his ass because if it's a white boy whooping your ass, he's putting in the work on you. Some no neck, big bubba nigga.
Okay, wait, hold on. I don't think the race matter at all. Like, if anybody
the race should matter because
why should it?
Word.
You know why it should matter? Because even if you get to your phone and be like, oh, I'm getting my ass beat, da 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 da. You see the same way that Karen was sitting there. There's a black man, he's threatening me with some nigga with a dead tooth.
That's totally different
and glasses on.
Hold on now. I want to hear. So, Pascal,
how's it different? How's it different? Because say by some grace of God, this nigga stops beating your ass and the cops pull up. Y'all both just there, and he stops beating your ass. And he's like to the police officer, oh, he attacked me, so then therefore I put my hands on him, and that's why we're in the situation we in. Even though he was the one who attacked Norm first. Who do you think he's gonna believe?
Yeah, you're right. That one could be a little iffy. I ain't gonna lie. But hey, that's why they're gonna look to see.
Marie, I have a question for you, beloved. Can you answer it?
Go ahead.
Who do you think they're gonna believe first?
What, the white guy beating on Norman or Norman beating on the white guy?
Who
they come up. Norman's bloody, but they weren't engaged in the battle when the police pull up. Who do you think they're gonna believe?
The white guy.
My point exactly. That's my point. That's the crux of my whole argument. Like that's my point. Like you.
So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just walk off with my L, right? I'm gonna just walk it off.
You have to. You have no other choice.
He said I got no choice. Damn.
Because of the way the system's constructed.
Then I gotta kill him. Then I gotta kill him. Then if that's the case, because
that's my point.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. First thing that comes in my head is like,
I'm joking. That's
first thing that comes in my head is like, the police ain't gonna believe this shit when they come here.
Yeah, exactly. If my ass is whooping, that white dude is still standing. Like, the police.
People don't believe that black people don't know how to fight. Like there's black people that just don't know how to fight.
Yeah. So all black people do karate and shit.
We're superheroes, man. We're Superman in the wrong cape and the wrong skin. That's all we are. Like, to them, that's what we are. That shit's fucking wild, son.
Yo, I see y'all not gonna leave Virgil alone, man. Virgil decided to give $50.
All right. So
I really believe Virgil got sacrificed by Kanye so he can get back in the game.
Yo, listen, I think that was. I don't know why he did that. He could even like donate money.
Yo, listen. This is my take on it, right? So I was talking to my boss and my coworker, and I was like, "Did y'all peep what Virgil did?" And they smooth told me like, "So, it's his money," and I'm like, "But Off-White don't even cost $50, my nigga. Like, you can't even get like something from Off-White for $50."
You're right, but at the same time,
they showed a paperclip, nigga. Off-White paperclip that was like $150.
I'm gonna say this to y'all. I'm just gonna put this out there, right? We've all seen Get Out. Mm-hmm. We all seen Virgil's.
Shut up, man.
We all seen Virgil's pic.
About his family.
We seen that pic, right?
So that
we all seen that pic, right? That's it.
That's why he gave $50, right? Yo, listen. At the end of the day, son.
Because Massa told him that's all you could give.
Nigga. Hold on. So if he gives $50 and you don't give anything, can you really say anything?
The nigga worth $2 million.
No, that's a serious question. If he gets $50, can you really knock him if you didn't give anything?
No. Yes. Yo. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you one thing.
No, answer my question.
I said yes. I said yes till the time's over.
So how much did you donate?
I don't know the story, so I can't.
So basically, Virgil, if you don't know, Virgil's the creator of Off-White.
Virgil Abloh.
He's also like the men's
creator of Pyrex.
No, not
okay.
Oh, he also does Louis Vuitton. He's like the men's fashion for that. He designs all the stuff.
Big money.
So he was like, they was doing this thing where to give money to Black Lives Matter. So he took a picture, he donated $50, and he posted it and was like, "Hey, I did this thing. I donated $50, and if anybody has money to donate to it." So of course everybody ran with it because it's like Off-White costs like mad money to buy. So you only donated $50 to the Black Lives Matter? Like that's
okay.
Mind you, I think he probably donated more on the back end, but he's probably doing that. Other people.
He donated. Yo, listen. After the backlash, he donated like $20,000 after that.
Well, you really think his plan was only to donate $50? That would be fucking whack.
But bro, if you sitting here on social media like, yo, these niggas in Miami inspired me to do this, so I donated $50, it's like, come on, my nigga. Like, yo, I had to really look up his net worth to be like, all right, let's see how broke this nigga really is.
He's not broke. You know he's not broke.
He's worth $2 million. He's literally worth $2 million.
We know he's not broke. I can't justify why he gave 50, but I think at the end of the day, that was probably just to show other people to donate. Because what are you gonna show you? A picture where he donated $20,000 on Cash App?
Honestly, that's what he said. He said he did that just to get people started.
Encourage people.
That's what I'm saying. Because think about
in my head,
you really send somebody $20,000 on Cash App? No,
right? No, but let's
sense.
keep it a buck though. If you was to hear somebody like Michelle Obama, Jay-Z, like you feel me? To donate $50, we gonna talk shit about that.
But
we definitely gonna talk shit about that.
He did that donation on Cash App, bro. Like, how much did you really expect him to send on Cash App? Like, come on. He could have sent 100, but
2,500, the max.
It's so sad. Everything, you know how like people like be like keep it. They use it every time somebody want to say 50. Anything they just say Virgil instead. They replace 50 with Virgil. I'm like, Jesus Christ, they's running with this shit, man.
Nah,
that's wild.
That shit was funny though. That shit was funny to me because I'm like sitting here like this nigga comes from the motherland of slavery, man. He comes from fucking Ghana. So it's like, yo, this nigga should have donated well more than just $50. Especially
can't be mad. Think about
worth it. Yo, my nigga. So I bet that's like going to church, right?
Hold on.
Like, no. Listen.
It's the nigga
yes, we can,
he can
bro.
whatever he wants. Son, if he didn't want to donate nothing, he could donate nothing, bro. You can't.
That's true. He could have donated nothing in silence.
Let's look at it this way. No. You worth $2 million, right? And you go to church and you put in the offering.
He not talking to any of us.
You put in that offering.
He not putting nothing in that offering. You take it out.
Your father see that shit. You don't think your father
he'll be upset, but what can you really tell me? I could get gave nothing though. That's why I gotta tell y'all people, y'all can't check people's pocket. If that's what he want to give, that's what he want to give, man. That's it.
All right. Virgil Abloh's not even important, man. Fuck that. I can't afford anything that he's selling. So
I can't afford Off-White.
Oh my God.
I can't afford that.
You just don't want to.
Test that shop at Target.
Don't worry. When
Target, that's an upgrade for me, nigga. I shop at fucking Walmart, nigga.
When the next Off-White Jordans come out.
You know what's really crazy? Everything I have on me right now came from Walmart.
Hey,
my underwear, my socks, my shorts,
the frames, the glasses too.
Nah, these from Zenny Optical. The frames from Zenny Optical. Shout out to Zenny Optical.
Listen,
bang bang Zenny gang.
Shut up, nigga. I don't even know why you giving them they're not paying you.
Oh, I'm about to send them an email.
Shut up. What's it called? Just like I say, I bet you everybody gonna run for the Off-White Jordans when they come out. So all that shit is just all talk for now.
Just like Gucci. We never canceled Gucci.
Nope.
We never canceled Gucci.
Well, Kanye, everybody hated Kanye, but he decided to donate $2 million. I guess that makes him a better person, right? Because he gave $2 million.
It's called put up or shut up, nigga.
No, time out. Can I ask y'all a legitimate question? And I'm gonna bring this back to the initial point. In business, we talk about doing business with people that we don't necessarily like or see the same views as us, and then we just chalk it up to business, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the grand scheme of things, maybe that's what Kanye was doing. I'm not saying that he was or wasn't, but what I'm saying is that it could be a possibility. Because all in all, a lot of things that he did help people later on down the road, right? Like Donald Trump has proven to us several times over, if you could boost his numbers, or you could stroke his ego, or you can do just basic, simple things as an influential person to get him in your pocket or to get in his pocket, whatever the fuck it is. He's giving dividends. So
they already said that too, because online they were saying supposedly Kanye was doing all that, helping Trump just so he can get his way to help free people from prison.
But that's my point. That's what okay. So I add to furthermore that point, was he wrong?
But do we know if that was really his intentions? That's the question. You got to remember, the guy was kind of.
But if that's the result, what's he wrong? If we could show ends for the means,
of course, it was right. You know, keep your enemies closer.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's the way I feel like we have to view these like elections. Who the fuck's gonna give us what we need? Like, who can we manipulate to give us what we need?
Do we have to vote Biden at this point? If you're not voting for Trump, who else are you gonna vote for?
But here's the thing.
Who? If you're not voting for Trump, who? And you don't vote for, like, who else do you have? The Rock?
Yo, honestly, no. You peep what I said earlier, right? Like with the whole Nancy Pelosi giving the nail and shit. And I'm like, yo,
yeah, like that.
They need to stop. I was like, yo, they need to stop. Like, Biden already got our vote. Like, we can't give Biden our vote. That's the thing. I don't fully trust Biden. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I do not trust that nigga. Yo, listen, I don't either. But at this point, what choice do we have?
No,
bro?
I don't trust any of these motherfuckers. That's what I'm saying. Let's burn this shit down to the ground and we'll start from the beginning. If we live, we live. If we don't, we don't.
That's not even an option. They put
in the Sahara Desert. Whatever. Well, Sahara Desert. Well, in the safari.
Iraq, bro. You can't just do that over here.
I don't like the way you said Iraq. Like,
I mean, we don't live in a place where you can just do whatever you want. Basically, I'm not trying to play them, but it just really is what it is out there, man. It's nuts. Like, we can't do that here, bro. The military will be here real quick.
So they don't kill their own citizens?
Yo, I wonder all the times, what is the military really supposed to do, though? Like, if they see some people, like, let's say they come on to...
But that's the thing. You're asking citizens to turn on their own citizens. Let's see what the military would actually do. How do we get to that point?
I want to know what's the guidance they're giving. Like, let's say the military, like, blocks off the street and the people decide they want to get on the street. Supposedly, I hear the military can't arrest people. All they can do is...
kill them.
Police. Well, I guess so. So I'm just like...
Chitty bang bang that motherfucker. It's going to be... It is what it is, man. Dr. King and Martin Luther King both. Martin Luther King. I'm a little smized. Dr. King and Malcolm X both died for us.
Yeah, let's get to this. So what's her name? Laura Ingraham. She came out now. She's saying "shut up and dribble." She said "shut up and dribble" about LeBron back in the day.
A couple months ago.
But now when it comes to Drew Brees, it's all something like he's got a right to opinion. It's just like, double standard.
To a lot of our listeners who do not know who Drew Brees is, what team this nigga?
Listen, all listeners know who Drew Brees is.
I don't think everybody do.
Not everybody. Marie don't know who that nigga is.
So not everybody watches.
All right, so he's some like bullshit quarterback who got turned over from San Diego, got sent to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, fucked around, won the Super Bowl. And then now he's talking about my granddaddy. I'm not even going to disrespect the military like that. So basically, what he said is just like, I'm not going to stand by anybody who disrespects the flag. Right? And so he's when he said that, he was referring to the Colin Kaepernick situation.
Like kneeling to the
Kneeling.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? I got friends like that.
Was that a recent video though? That was a recent recording, right?
That was last week. That was actually last week.
So with the current climate that we're in, and he has the foresight to see the fact that Colin Kaepernick wasn't lying about the reason why he was kneeling, and yet he still said it. So this no neck, blonde hair. She's not even a real blonde. I can tell she's not a real blonde. Blue-eyed. Is she? Does she have blue eyes?
Alright.
I was gonna say blue-eyed devil, but
you don't gotta give her all them characters. Just get
either way. The same woman came out of the way and said when LeBron was talking politically about it was Black Lives. Who was the person that passed? It was during the season, right?
I don't remember.
But I think it was
but it was another
guy a guy from New York, right?
I don't even remember which one it was, man. That's sad.
Isn't that crazy? But either way, he went about like talking about the whole situation. He was talking about Trump and issues. She said, "Oh, you should just shut up and dribble. That's your job. You're just an athlete. Like that. It's not your job to be a political pundit. all that extra stuff. And in the same sense, she went out of her breath to go support Drew Brees and what he said.
But he's saying he has a right to his opinion. And of course, at the end of the day, said double standard. Plus, it's Fox News. Fox News wants to,
That's my whole point. Like, none of these news people are true. Like, Anderson Cooper, we can't literally just lean into what he's saying and just accept it. Like, I feel like when it comes to news isn't what we saw it as kids. Like, back in the...
Like, CNN is way, it's so pro.
When you have 24-hour news cycles, like, you have 24 hours that you need to fill with a spot with someone who's going to watch. And people watch things that they support. Like, it's just that simple.
And, it's crazy. The NFL even came out and said that they, they apologized for the whole Colin Kaepernick and not understanding where he's coming from. So now it's sad. It took all this time for them to really what's his name?
Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell.
Yeah, he just apologized.
Roger what? Leo, what was it?
Marie,
Roger Goodell. I said his name wrong.
It's Goodell. Roger Goodell. He said Goodell.
You think I care what that white man name is?
Again. Hold on. Let me fix that camera. It turned completely.
Turn it landscape.
It is landscape.
No, turn it again. You had it right, but then you turned it. Give it a second. Oh, right there.
Got it before.
That shit fucked up, man. She had to take.
All right, that should work. That'll work for now. That's fine.
That worked for now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. But yeah, so the NFL came and apologized, and it's just like, hey, man, it took all this time. Now I'm hearing they're going to give Kaepernick a job, which I think it's too late for. I don't know what he's really going to do at this time.
I mean, it doesn't matter. If he balls out, he balls out. I'm going to support him nonetheless.
Where ain't going to give him a job at?
The NFL?
Where?
Oh, you mean what team?
What team?
The Giants could use him.
That's not happening.
I'm mad.
You know the Giants. Right?
Who the fuck said Lamed?
I don't know. Who said that?
Marie,
a Giants fan.
They're not taking them. You know they're not
taking them. Son, you don't know. Like, next year, we're going to have 2 wins. We're getting 2 wins this coming season.
All season, that's all you think?
Come on. Did you see the schedule, Norm? Did you see the schedule?
No, it's bad.
It's only 2
so hold on. Do we even know how – do they plan to start on time?
Yeah. I think the NFL will start right on time.
The NBA going to start next month.
With the arena packed?
I don't know. I don't know about that. It might be, man. Because you know what they're going to use as a defense? Corona. If the numbers don't skyrocket, they're going to just use the protest as a defense. Like, hey, we should open up the stadiums. Like, these rich people, like,
you know what's so
getting capital is the only way you can control this country. I'm telling you, you get capital.
Yeah, as soon as you're young, you know that.
We need a popular billionaire. Yeah. That's all we need. Oprah's not willing to put herself out there because she's the only one. Well, she's not there. It's Jordan too, but like still.
And we got the NBA coming back. When they come back,
3 to 5. Black
July 30th or something.
31st.
And all the games will be in Orlando. What did they play?
Friday night.
The playoffs?
No, they play a few games. I think they play like 8 games. And then
so you think the playoffs is gonna happen down there too, or what?
Yeah, everything's happening down there. No, there's no like home court. There's none of that.
There's not gonna be no You don't think there's gonna be fans allowed at any of these games?
No.
Damn, that's gonna be different.
No, because to get fans to be in the all right. So the playoffs are about a month and a half, right? We're starting 31st. They're starting 31st. The country, excuse me. I'm sorry. The country would have to be completely open. Like,
wait, they started 31st or July 31st?
July 31st. I'm sorry. Okay. July 31st. So it takes about a month and a half. So probably midway through September is going to be where the NBA Finals happens. Ooh. Where between now and then, where we're going to get to a point where we can have a $23,000 seated stadium full.
I don't know, but we'll see.
It's not going to happen. If it does happen, all the Americans, everybody should understand coronavirus wasn't a hoax, but it was something, it was calculated, It was a pandemic. So come on, bro. Where the fuck do you see people dying out of nowhere in like large numbers and then
It just stopped, right?
It just stopped?
I think it's like up to 600,000 deaths, man. There was almost 1 million deaths to this shit, man. Like,
but worldwide, though. That's worldwide.
I don't know, man.
Several countries, like multiple well, not all the continents, but most.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started, because I've been watching.
Are you okay?
Things.
You said who? Okay.
Marie, are you all right?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
What you watching? You sitting there on the edge of your seat, but like.
I'm listening to y'all.
Word. He's a little tipsy, I guess. He don't even know what's going on, I guess.
I'm listening.
Yeah, because I'm like, look, I don't know what he's talking about, bro. Okay.
Yo, let's get into these questions, man.
So you say your girl begs you to come to her birthday dinner with 4 of her girlfriends. The bill comes, who pays?
Keyword.
You?
Begs.
You gotta pay.
Okay, so if you come, you pay for you and your girl. But if you're feeling good, you pay for everybody. I did that one time.
You gotta pay for everybody.
Why? No. Why you gotta pay for everybody?
I'm
a female.
What do you mean you're a female? What does that have to do with?
She wants to know why is that the case.
Yeah.
I pay for everybody
for a flex.
For 3 reasons. One, so playing hating ass, trifling ass friends who don't want to see us profit and be great could just shut up. They know that I'm in her corner. Two for you to also understand that you were begging me to come, and like I came for you, and I paid for everyone else for you, just so you can look as.
You're trying to prove a point. That sucks.
Can I say something?
Now let me say his last one. Let me say his last one, Pascal. What's the last?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
And the last one is just chivalry. Like I'm not just gonna come out and just pay for my girl's check and just tell them spend an extra 20 minutes sitting there waiting for these girls to try to break it down to the tax and the tip and all that. I'm not doing all that. I'll just take care of it. If you have money and the person, let me pay tip. I pay tip. Otherwise, I'm doing that. I'm paying the bill, taking my girl and I'm out. Like I'm not sitting here wasting time. I didn't want to be there to begin with. I don't like any of your raggedy ass friends. All right. I pay the bill so you can have an exceptional birthday, and I'm gonna leave with you.
Let me say, Mom. All thing I gotta say is I did it once only because I didn't feel like dealing with like, whose card is gonna do all that. That's the only reason why I did it.
That's a big thing.
Now
it's about like 50% of it.
All right, can I say something?
Yeah.
I feel like the chivalry part that's nice. Like I feel like it's okay for you to show up and pay your girl's bill, but for your girl to beg you, it sounds like you wasn't originally invited in the first place.
No, that doesn't mean.
No. Wait. She's begging you. How are you gonna say you're not invited? What are you talking about?
You didn't want to
My nigga, that means she already made those plans. No,
she begged you.
No.
Want to go, Leo?
No, the way you think.
Word.
The way you should have been a politician.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The person who wrote this question made me think like that, and I was like sitting here like, yo, you got a point. Because at first I was like, yo, if my girl is begging me to come, then you feel me? Like it's her birthday. Like I feel like it's no choice but for me to come.
No,
whatever.
That's not true. If she's begging you to come, that means
you had no intention to go before. And I can understand somebody who doesn't want to go for the simple fact that a lot of women's friends are just like, when you sit there and you see your girl get toxic, or you see like they fall into that like catty girl bullshit, and just like, yo, this is not the woman that are like.
But it's not always like that, though. I won't put all women in that boat.
It's not all women. Did I say all women? Did I say all women?
No, but the way you got this shit on your head, it's like, yo, you can't go out with women because all they do is.
That's not what I said at all. I said what I said was the fact that like you don't want to be around their friends because they bring that side of her out. Like we can't deny the fact. It's not. I'm not saying. Oh my God. I'm using the parameters that you've given me, right?
We didn't give you parameters. All we said was the boyfriend.
You said I don't want to go. The only reason why I wouldn't want to go to my girl's birthday with her homegirls.
Why? Some dudes just don't want to go. That's it.
Because they don't. That's not their girlfriend. Well, it is their girlfriend. But they got wifey.
No, listen.
Get the fuck out of here. If it's my girl's birthday, there's no. Come on, son.
You can do something with her though.
Listen. P, you're right to some.
Come on, son.
P, you're right to some certain extent. It's not all the time that you want to be around your girl's friends and shit. Because that sometimes, deadass, it's like,
them girls bring out the worst in you. I'm telling you, man.
It's not that. It's not that. Because it's like, you can literally sit there, my nigga, you can literally sit there and it's like, what the fuck am I going to relate to all these drones that's here? Like, I'm going to just really be on my phone.
You're talking about shit I would never know. They're talking about stories.
Exactly.
That happened to them 10 years ago.
Y'all never, I ain't gonna lie, when I went, man, I was the one bringing up shit. Like, I like it, man. I like to be the funny guy and talk to them, you know what I mean? That's what you gotta do. That's all you gotta do, bro. You can't make it awkward, because if you go there awkward, then you look like that ain't shit ass nigga. You can't do that shit.
But then again, it depends on the kind of rapport you have with your girlfriend's friends.
Word, because if y'all cool, it shouldn't even be like that. Y'all should be
Yeah, but here's a common misconception. It's that you think you cool with your girl's friends, and you're not necessarily. One, two. So you're gonna tell me you're. But your shorty don't even have friends like that.
Nah, that's gas. But hold on, my brother girlfriend. He don't high school.
Am I lying?
Hold on.
P, you can't say that.
No, hold on.
But she has staple. No. What I'm saying is she has staple friends. So all he has to do is capitulate to a certain group of people. When compared to your situation, Leo, when you're like at a table with 18 people deep.
That's 18 people. That's like, come on, son.
That's my point. That's my point.
Who has 18 homegirls at their birthday party? That's what the fuck. So there's only, and he the only nigga.
So. Leo, can you tell me how many men?
All these 18 women who came, they don't.
No, keep quiet. Keep quiet.
Yo,
how many men was?
It was 12 Johns.
How many men?
It was at least 2 of my niggas there was there.
All right. Out of those 12 Johns who was there, did none of them have boyfriends? Like none of them wanted to come? Like what the fuck?
One of them did, and that was his sister.
Damn, that's just wild.
My point exactly. There was 4 men.
That's wild.
There was 4 men. 2 of them were taken.
Like I was saying,
3 of them were taken. It was just me.
Like I was saying, when your girlfriend's friends like you or not. You know that. Look at my brother.
It's not a matter of whether or not they like you. It's a
your
matter
brother could talk to anybody and be fine, bro. That's
your brother's a politician.
Your brother like to
but
talk,
your brother's a politician.
He love you, son. So shut up. You know you could. You love that. So you
for the guys who just like to keep quiet and chill, it's a lot.
Next question. So this stupid question: how long is your shortest relationship? This sounds like some kid shit. Like,
first thing we have to figure out, what is a relationship?
That's what I was about to say. Like, what's the shortest relationship? Well, Leo, what's your shortest relationship?
3 years.
Damn, that's long.
Well, how you treat the girl for 3 years into loving you?
Word, 3 years is really long.
Wait, what? I left her. What the fuck is this nigga talking about?
He said,
just fucking with
you. Nigga, I had to leave her.
So wait, you never been with a girl shorter than that? Well, she probably was confused. That's what it was. She ain't know.
No, you talking about real relationship, nigga? Like 3 years.
See, that's the problem. It's all these definitions.
No, this was an actual real relationship. It was 3 years, my nigga. Like I was in it for 3 years.
Okay. I ain't got no comment on that one. That question.
And then I met my baby mother. Oh, God.
Damn, son, Leo, I feel like I gotta start putting questions on this shit. I do not like these questions.
They're relationship questions, man. Leo, it's like,
I didn't. Yo, those. If you look at the highlights,
Marie,
those aren't my questions.
You would like to ask any gentleman?
No, I'm just observing.
So there's no question, just in general, in your life that you want to answer?
The next question really was like 3 reasons why a woman would block a nigga for, a nigga number for. Like,
anything. too many texts in a row, you can get blocked for that. So listen, I had a sister, bro, and the shit that she used to tell me, and it was like when texting just first started, I was like, yo, y'all women are the most fickle creatures in the world, son. You know,
I was kind of lost with that question about blocking. There's a lot of things men do or what females do that we could,
Like what?
One, on my social media, I block every other day.
Because they that annoying.
Yeah, but
I'm blocking every other day. I get dick pics. I get, bruh.
Niggas be wild.
Bruh.
Let me ask you something.
Wait, time out. You get
no. A nigga sending you dick pics is just like out of the random.
Yes, I've gotten it.
I got a question though.
What you do?
Have you got? No, hold on.
I block it.
You're not.
But if it's impressive though, what do you do? If it's impressive, you keep it
weird, bro.
No, it doesn't impress me.
So there's no dick pic in the world that would ever impress me. Be like, all right.
A picture does not impress me. If I'm not, another one.
No, hold on. Finish your sentence, beloved.
Nothing. Pictures don't impress. I know what you was about to say too.
This is a safe space. Time out. This is a safe space.
Shut up, Leo.
You sound so muffled for. Are your AirPods working?
Yeah, they working.
Nah, it sounds like you in a different country.
But time out. This is a safe space. Like, well, what would make it, other than you asking for it, what would make a dick pic appropriate?
I don't like dick pics.
Okay.
I think there's only one way is if she asks for it, bro. Like you can't just be sending like you don't know how. That's crazy, son.
Yeah.
I mean, don't knowing her and sending it is wild.
She got to be in the mood for it.
Thank you.
That's it.
Like you really be getting dick pics just like randomly like that?
I believe that shit. Niggas
you imagine if a girl was to send us vagina pics, like randomly.
Strange. Yo, my like button would be so loose.
Just show me what that roast beef look like, man. Just show me what the roast beef.
I'm gonna tell you one scenario. I was at work. I was on my WhatsApp. This guy just sent me a picture. I was mad as hell. I was like, yo, send me a picture of something. Guess what he sent?
That's what he said.
Oh, no. That's on you.
That's his imagination, though.
No.
Yeah.
Because
you left it up to interpretation.
Oh, Kisa?
You left it up to his interpretation.
Well, he wasn't talking like that. Because he was shopping. And I was like, yo, send me a picture of something.
Yeah. No. That's way too vague. To me personally, I'm just like, I'm at the supermarket. I'm at the store like, I got okay. I got it. Like on some real shit. That's literally my thought process. Because when you say send me a picture of something, it's too vague to me. Something because that's what I would say to you. Like, if we talking like, she's like,
you heard what you said. If we're talking like that, yes.
But really, here's the thing. I want you to go up with tonight. Not even tonight. When you have free time, watch Neil.
I have free time.
Okay, watch Neil Brennan's 3 Mics. It's on Netflix. He has a perfect joke about the fact that as men, we expect anything to go down at any time with women. Or niggas want to flex, they camera remote just be doing everything. Niggas had to flex. You could have just.
Yo, I got that feature on my remote too, but that remote kind of old. You need to change that.
Bro, I just got this.
Don't let him take your shine. Don't let him take your shine. He's a hater. Sure. Anyway, but the real crux, the whole point of his joke was the fact that like men believe that it can go down at any time.
Yeah, that's why. Yo, perfect example. I remember I was asking a girl one time. I was like, yo, you don't remember all your bodies? And sometimes she goes, oh, I don't know if we smashed or not. I should ask him. I was like, nah, you can't do something like that. Because if you do that, he's automatically going to assume you want to smash. And then she's like, no, I'm just asking if we smashed or not. And I'm just like, nah. If a girl texts me.
You know how terrifying of a text message that is, son?
Yeah, because it's if I get...
I'm not responding. No.
But then again, are you incriminating? But tell me, Leo, are you incriminating yourself by not responding? That's a question you got to ask yourself too. Are you incriminating? No, but
disrespectful.
I understand why. I understand why you're saying, Leo. I get it. I understand why you're saying it's disrespectful, but in the grand scheme of things, that might be a charge.
That's what I'm saying. Because think about it. How old are you now? 30. If a girl you probably used to fucking with like 18 hit you up now and ask you that, yo, back in the day, did we ever smash? What do you think in your head? Do you think it's because you want to smash or what?
I'm saying no. She's trying to prove somebody.
I'm gonna be like.
But shouldn't she know if she has smashed or not?
But no. He's talking about the distance, the duration and time.
Yeah, you were
back when we were 18.
What people did or not.
I'd be like, no.
Everybody you had.
I know.
For me?
No, I know
everybody I've had.
Leo, shut up. No way.
I mean, like, you gotta understand. Sometimes
I forget people, and I know my number is significantly more.
No, nigga, yo, listen. I've been around. Like I tell you right now, I've been around, and I know who I've smashed, nigga.
Because think about it.
It could have been.
Hold on, real quick. You know how many times you was trying to mess with a girl, but you don't remember exactly what went down. So that's what I'm saying.
I remember everything that goes.
I remember every person I've slept with.
Damn.
Every single one.
That's crazy.
Damn, you got good.
I mean, but it's different. You're a woman. Like No, and I'm not saying that as a woman you should.
Pascal,
remember. I'm saying let me finish my fucking point. I'm not saying as a woman you should remember everybody. What I'm saying is that women count their bodies more diligently than men do.
So y'all don't count y'all bodies, y'all just smash.
Nah, niggas ain't counting. Niggas don't.
No. Some niggas don't count.
Wait,
count.
Why
I count.
You count for it?
Because my meat is all I had. Like my meat and my heart is all I had.
Why you counting?
What?
It's because he be smashing unprotected. That's the problem, man. I tell you to stop doing that shit. The unprotected sex, you.
That's you. Norm's name is Mr. Sushi, son.
Yo,
he meets a girl.
You know, he's got to be able to. Like,
Norm.
I got a good chance. The next one, I got to see what I'm gonna do this time.
So time out. I got a question for you. So you think all these times I'm smashing girls and I have no children? So I've been using jimmies, bro. Stop trying to.
That don't mean anything. That does not mean anything.
You know that.
Nah, but I got my sperm count checked.
Yo,
I got health insurance.
You just be pulling out, bro. That's it.
Ain't nobody's pull-out game that good, man.
Shut up, nigga.
You ain't never been in. How you of all niggas gonna tell me shut up, niggas? Because apparently them strokes didn't add up, huh? Them strokes didn't add up. Your math ain't add up, nigga.
That was one time.
There's one or two things. Either you're just like
It wasn't just one time because I had to go to Ben and Jerry's a few times, nigga.
Not for you. You got that.
I love that. That this is mark down the point. Do we have time on this shit? Oh, Ben and Jerry.
So I guess for the men, what's the 3 reasons why you fall back from a woman?
Clingy.
No, honestly,
it's not. No. But there's levels. There's levels to clinginess. I'm
attracted.
Go ahead, Leo.
I'm attracted to crazy.
You know that shit.
But the thing is, if you could be crazy, but you can't be clingy. Like, you get what I'm saying?
They're not synonymous. They go together, bro.
That don't make sense.
They're not exclusive.
Wait, what do you like? Crazy? What's crazy? Like, what do you like?
Crazy could be like
if you out with your homeboy, she think like she hitting you up like what the fuck?
No. Crazy. I'm talking about like damn, what's the word I'm looking for? Like somebody who's like very promiscuous, like you down to do like whatever, you feel me?
I sort of say that,
like,
but don't say crazy, because crazy is basically clingy. That's different.
Is it?
Don't say crazy, because crazy seems like that girl who always hitting you up, who always like accusing you of something.
Nah, all right, then yeah, you're right. But yeah, I don't like anybody that's clingy and shit, because I like my space.
And what definitely pushes me away from women if she take too long to text back. That shit I hate that shit. Like, you just know y'all not doing nothing, and then y'all take forever to text back.
Okay, what if she's really doing something though?
Nah, y'all like to play games. Y'all know it too. You know, you like to. You text.
Or what if they can't have their phone at work?
Okay, that makes sense. Because if you explain that makes sense.
Right, but here, Norm, I got a question for you. In the grand scheme of things, right? Since you're the man who's fishing, you can't get mad at the fish for not biting. So why do you give that your energy?
I mean, like, that's why I would cut it off, though.
But that's no reason to cut it off, because in a sense you're fishing. Just like put it out there. If they're not reciprocating to a certain point, you can still leave because women are real fickle creatures, bro. Like Marie could be right now looking for a new nigga, meanwhile she's still fucking her old nigga.
That's cute.
And you could take her on several dates and do all that extra stuff until you reach a threshold or you reach a level past the nigga that she's dealing with currently. You're not getting that inside track.
You right.
But
that's my point.
How does she even get past that? That's the question.
So you're playing a losing game. So that's the thing. You just gotta play the role. You just gotta play the role. It's in you whether or not do you want to keep pushing a boulder up the hill. Because women can show you that they're really into you. Like, they could be completely into you, like, oh, you have all things checked off, but this other nigga who wasn't shit, who made them feel like they weren't worthy enough, they need to prove that they're worthy enough. And you have a best friend who's shown that several times over.
Boy, that shit crazy, man. Women
exactly. And that's the thing. They need that thing to be completely dead, Fred. Until they're completely turned their back on this man, you are fighting an uphill battle.
Boy, that's the sad part for women, man. I don't know. I think, dudes, I don't think they deal with that, though. They just rather just move on. You know what I mean? And, it is what it is.
Because there's two reasons. Men do deal with it, but our backlash to it is either like, oh, fuck all women, whatever. Or we're just we're more reserved. We'll still put ourselves out there, but the woman has to, push a little bit more to get more out of us.
Okay, I have a question. I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's fine.
What makes you ghost a female?
Lack of decorum. Just the way she carries herself. I don't like it. It's just I don't need this in my life. Lack of respect is a big thing. And it's big. The biggest thing to me is how a woman kind of sees herself is a big thing. If you don't see it, I like a woman who is submissive but not a servant. A lot of women feel
I feel you on that one.
I like a woman who has her own hobbies and has her own things that she's into, that she's willing to open me to, but not necessarily what are you doing? What do you I don't want the focus all on me. Does that answer your question?
Can I ask you a question? Would y'all, as men, ghost a female? If, let's say y'all was dating a female, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing has changed over time. Maybe she has a certain amount of time where she wants things to get serious. Would y'all just ghost a female if she was expecting more out of y'all just dating?
No, that's foul. I would tell her what I expect from her, and then if it doesn't get to that point, then it is what it is.
I got a question. It's to me, it's funny how you could be with a woman and let's say things aren't working, and you tell her that you know what, things ain't working, so this ain't it, and we need to end this. They'll be more mad at you than just breaking up if y'all got.
Women don't like rejection. Women can't handle rejection.
That's clear to me. Wouldn't you rather think about it, Marie?
No. Hold on. You can ask her in a second. But my point, I just want to make you understand this. Women. Society has told us that we have to chase women, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what makes you feel that they have to do anything to capitulate to our needs on the front end?
Could be. But wait, my thing I want to say to Marie. So let's say let's say you, of course, with a man, but of course it's always rocky or something. But y'all still making it work, and then out of nowhere one day he tells you you know what, this ain't gonna work for me. This is it. Mind you didn't think it was that. Why is it that some women get upset about that and prefer to just break up on bad terms instead? They rather not break. I just don't get it. They get mad when the dude do that to them. It's yo, he did me dirty.
Like he said, we don't like rejection. I understand the fact that we were trying to work it, but I put my all in it. And then you're going to tell me you still don't want to, bruh.
That's crazy. I think
one point exactly. But with that being said, women believe that their all isn't necessarily truly their all. Their all is like, I'm willing to compromise on you with a few things, but it's not the things that you like. A lot of times men talk to women. Women, you don't talk to me. Men talk to women. We tell you how we feel, but y'all don't take this shit seriously.
Yeah, man. Sometimes
women don't take men seriously when we're actually talking. And that's the thing. Like, they don't take our feelings seriously because they either don't view us as, like, I'm not going to say they don't view us as human, but they just, as men, we just got to take it. We just, like, our feelings aren't important, but we have to take every single emotion you have seriously. Isn't that dehumanizing a human being?
But I can't speak for all females. Some of us females do.
Women.
Okay. Some of us do take your feelings in consideration, though.
Yes, but at times when they realize that they're the real core of the problem, they flip it. Like,
if you look at it, most of the times the women look at it like they're supposed to come to us with all the problems, and we supposed to just like kind of
and solve them. And then at times when we try to solve the problem, you look at us like we're crazy. Like, I'm just talking. No, you don't need a solution. So it's just like, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't.
That's why you just speak up, bro. That's it.
But if you speak up, like, here's the thing. What's the crossing line between being a bitch and just being somebody who's saying how he feels?
Well, if she really take you as that means it ain't gonna work, bro.
No, but time out. No. There's a lot of women who see a man talking about the things that affect him and what he's dealing with. That's him bitching.
Okay, so you can't be with somebody like that then. It ain't gonna work if you see it that way.
But what are the qualities that a woman who wouldn't see you as that need to have? And that's what I'm trying to figure out.
She's just got to be considerate. That's it. She's just got to be considerate and able to like talk to you. I ain't gonna lie. I used that shit one time. I remember my girl kept killing me about like.
Yeah, this nigga still talking about this story. You see, that's what I'm talking about. The fact that you're able to talk about that one time, the one time you had to go out of your way to actually try to be human and ask her, why don't you have it? Yeah, it worked. It worked for her for that one period of time.
Let me explain to Marie. So basically, she kept like she was hassling me about everything, this and that, and I'm just like, you know what? You always bringing up all these things, all these problems, stuff like that, but you never asked me how I feel. And then she just like kind of like started her like, oh shit. And I was just like, yeah, you never asked me how I'm feeling through all this. It's like I'm supposed to just be okay. You never asked me, so I'm just like. And she's like, well, how you feeling? I'm like, well, you know, I try to like play it off like I ain't doing too well. So I went home that night. She texted me like, how you doing now? I'm like, I'm good. Next morning, she texted me like, how's everything going? And I'm sitting here like, oh, this is good. Like, this is like, why don't women do this? And then later that day, I couldn't take it no more because it felt like too baby. I was like, you know what? I'm good. But it just that's like, you never asked me like how I'm doing. It's always like this, but it's not like you never asked me about my feelings. But hey,
I have a question, Marie. Do women really give a fuck about men? Like, do y'all really care how we feel?
Yes, we do. Well, I personally do. A majority of us females do.
Marie told us she loved us last week.
Huh?
You gotta keep.
Yes, I did. I love y'all.
I was like, damn, son.
You gotta treat them well first, though.
Huh?
If you got to treat the woman well first, though, for that to happen. If you don't treat them well,
no. But that's one thing I realized about black women. You got to shower them with love. But like with black women, you get the love on the you get the love on the back end.
Don't say that because a lot of women, bro, they put through a lot with a dude and they not getting shit in return.
No. I'm saying with. I mean,
come on, bro.
That's another thing. You know it. All right, Maria, I got a question for you. Why do women put pressure? Like, I feel like in the grand scheme of things, the ancient niggas get the easiest fucking path.
Look at Leo.
Why do women hold good?
Wait. Repeat that again.
Joke, bro. Relax.
That shit got me on good.
It was a joke.
Why do women hold the good guy to such an or the deemed good guy, better yet, like the perceived good guy? Why do you hold him to a higher standard than the ancient nigga that you just gave Gucci up to last week? Theoretically, with my question.
Marie, are you usually going for the nice guy, or are you going for the guy who's giving you a hard time?
She not going for no nice guy. She ain't going for no nice guy. I can tell you that. Why y'all
like the bad guy? Why y'all like the guy who always?
Wait, hold on, wait a minute. What you mean? I don't go for the nice guy, Leo. I do.
No, you don't go. You don't go for the nice guy. You don't go for the nice guy.
That's that shit.
Come on, Marie. Listen.
You don't know her, Leo. Bro.
He doesn't. I don't need to know her. I can look at her eyes, bro.
You ain't no doctor.
Marie.
Yo, this
come on,
son. Crazy.
No, I'm not tripping.
That nigga on like Dr. Henny right now and shit, talking about, I know I can see through your eyes.
Through my eyes, like really.
Leo, if I'm lying, then I'm dying.
Yeah, why is it always the nice guy always got it hard? That's the sad part.
Yeah, like why you gotta be? Listen.
Hard,
hey yo, Pete Game. Yo, Noam, you know this nigga. Old boy from Best Buy, the one with the ball spot and the waves. And
oh
shit.
my god!
But we be having like these nice niggas who be coming up to her.
Oh my god!
Dwayne,
no.
Dwayne.
Here's the biggest. Here's the thing.
Leo, I hate you.
Here's the issue that
maybe that's not the type of man she like.
Why? No.
Woman, do you see him?
No, yo, I'm not doing that.
No. We're not talking about that. I just have a question.
That's between y'all niggas is foul.
Time out. I just got a question. Right?
That's not your type of man. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, why we talking about this bald-headed, no-eyed nigga? Like it's neither here nor there.
This nigga don't know, but
my point of the argument is like, why do you hold a certain man to a certain standard that you weren't willing to hold another man to?
Honestly, I hold every guy to the same standard.
I find that hard.
I've dealt with.
I feel like women just have more expectations when it comes to a certain guy. So
and that's fucking wild, bro. It like you know how much more a woman would.
My nigga,
like, everybody says hoes win. You know, there's a reason why hoes are winning, right?
But P, y'all. Men have rosters too.
Yeah, I don't understand what you say.
Wait, what do you mean hoes are winning?
How they be winning?
I'm trying to hear this.
That's what women say. That's what the women say.
How the hoes be winning?
Say what you gotta say, P. Say what you gotta say.
Wait,
I'm just saying.
For free or something? Why you say the hoes be winning?
No. It's just not that. It's just doing whole shit. Like I know many people who put an engagement ring on a shorty. Because on the first date that they were out, she was giving sloppy toppy in a fucking park, in Central Park. Like, it happens, bro.
But you remember, I brought up that question before. I was like, would you ever take a girl serious who you messed with? Like, the first time you met her, you already
and I said yes.
Oh, you said yes?
I did say yes.
I don't think you remember you saying yes. I thought you said nah. All
right. To all the people in the annals of the Feet to Norm podcast, pull it up. I'm pretty sure I said yes. I don't think nobody... Because in the grand scheme of things, you're not going to wife up a girl who doesn't do the nasty shit that you want. Like, it's the first time there. Come on, son.
No, I'm just wondering because you said I remember everybody.
What difference is the first time? All right, so let me ask you this way: if you marry her, right? What difference does it make whether it was the first time, the second time, the third, or the fifth?
Morals, standards.
There you go.
But if she was giving you that vibe from the jump and you knew you could have had it, doesn't change it. It doesn't change it. Like, as men, we can feel a certain level of energy where a woman is doing something out of passion or they're doing it just because they're just trying to get their rocks off. I've had sex with several women who was just trying to get their rocks off. I'm just like, okay.
Well, he's a little whore, huh?
Well, why does everyone what? How did we get to that point, son?
I guess this concludes our show.
No. That doesn't conclude shit. Leo, you gonna tell me you weren't in the same boat, nigga?
Nah, Pascal, you the only hoe out here.
Okay, Leo. Fucking K. I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold you.
I'm somebody's whole father out here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yo, shut the fuck up. Oh my God,
the ones
son.
with kids be the worst though. The ones with the kids
Exactly. That's my whole point. Like you weren't pulling out. Like you were confidently.
I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about men. The men.
Yes, that's my whole point. Like
they use that to their advantage. They know what they do. They post the pictures with their child. Then they get all the messages.
I'm a father.
Oh my God.
I'm a responsible man.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm
playing ball with my kid.
I post pictures of me and my kid, like sometimes just on my story, and I don't.
But yo,
no, I'm telling you right now, I don't like it. Like I don't like people like it because how do I explain this?
Because
like, it's an all moment.
Child,
yeah, but I just don't like people like giving me heart eyes and shit for it. You feel me? I feel like I just don't like it for people giving me heart eyes and shit. Like I feel like that's what I'm obligated to do.
Because they're the ones that should have had your baby. What?
No, not even, nigga. Not even.
I have a question though. With all that, do you think by doing all that, do you think you could bag more women like that?
Most men think that.
If I was single, maybe yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you definitely think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, if I had a kid and I'm single, I'd be
talking to the mic.
The whore talking.
Word. He had 2 baby.
Marie, yo, how the fuck you see? Like, you really gonna call me a whore? Me?
You said it yourself, bro. You said
what?
You're the woman who have to get their rocks off, son. You a gigolo, son.
Because you want to know how I know that? Because I ask questions. Like y'all know me. I have to ask
you a
questions.
higher gigolo. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. Wrap this shit up, bro. Do your thing, bro.
I don't like the way I chop the chain. Like I'm just like some
wrap
dirty
this show up, bro.
I'm just a little nigga. I'm a nigga trying to look for love. Like ladies, please. Like I'm just out here just trying to put my heart.
You ain't making a good. You ain't doing.
No, because y'all just want to sully up my good name. Some woman who's the first time on the show sitting here talking about I'm this, that, and the third.
From the jump, you already say you don't remember everybody you messed with. That's one.
No, I said I remember every single one. Leo said you
did not. So you said you didn't.
I never said that, nigga.
Nah, Leo said you could. Pascal, you was the only one who says you can't remember.
I could name each one in order.
No. Pascal says he can't even name them because he don't remember.
Yeah, Pascal, you did say that.
Either way, no. All right. But I use Jimmy's. I use Jimmy's.
Man, I gotta go. It's getting
Jesus Christ! What? Like this show can't even be aired anymore because like I have to show my face in the streets.
You wasn't finding a wife based off your comments on this show, anyways. You better find.
At this point, you need to find a white woman who's just gonna accept you for who you are.
Don't disrespect me like that. Come on, man. White women don't even like me. White women don't like me.
Get yourself a Carol.
White women don't like me.
He need to find himself a Karen.
Nah, Karen gonna disrespect you.
White women won't like me.
All right, wrap it up, bro.
White women won't like me. Could you imagine me going to some little white barbecue? Come on, do the math, bro.
You do what, bro?
Who bought the potato salad? Exactly.
I ain't gonna put no raisins in it, so they're not gonna like it. Jokes. It's all jokes.
The fact that he know that already tells you he's gonna do well.
It's jokes. Come on, bro.
The fact you know that, man.
Marie, you did me dirty. You did me dirty.
You did yourself dirty.
Marie, thank you for being on the show today.
I'm so happy you're on the show. Like, you know how much I miss you?
I miss you too.
Look at him being a little
don't shut up, nigga. Like, hi, it's been another great. Oh, wait. I have my main question. What is your advice to interracial couples in this point in
time? Like me personally, I could just never see myself being with a white woman.
That's fair. It's because, but it's a but it's a cultural thing. I can understand why he says that because
I've honestly had this conversation with my mom, and I think it was just my mom trying to pick my brains to see if I would ever bring a white woman home, and I said no, ew. Why? And she was just like,
well, don't say ew. We don't have to do that. I have to say ew. My whole point of what I'm saying is like, there's a lot of couples out here who want to make more mulatto babies, and we have a fair share of great, beautiful half and half kids. The main reason why I was saying what I'm saying.
Jesus Christ.
what do you want me to call them? Interracial. All right, so we have a whole bunch of interracial. Interracial is too. It's too vast.
Bro, there's nothing wrong with him saying half and half.
Half and half. It's half and half of anything.
All
It's
right,
half.
keep going.
All right, the main point of what I'm saying is that we have a whole bunch, and what I want to know as Black people who haven't been dating anyone who is of another race. What do you say to them that's dealing with this? Because there's white and Black couples, there's white and Filipino or Asian couples, there's white and Indian, there's so many.
I have a question. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Does the race really matters if you're in love with that person?
For me personally, if I can't mesh with your family, it's tough for me because in the grand scheme of things, as a man, you're looked to be, me personally, as a man in a lot of relationships I've been the political person. Not political in the sense that like I'm on this side or that side of the fence. I mean political like in the sense like I'm a politician. Like I'm making everyone laugh. I gotta be on. I gotta do all that stuff. So race kind of plays a part in it because it's kind of hard to ingratiate certain people who just look at me and see me as just like, I have nothing in common with this man from Jump Street. Like I can't even flip your mind, or even if I do, it's just like, oh, he made me laugh for that period of time, but he's still this, that, and the third.
I think race is important because of like, it's important like culture wise too and stuff because y'all see things differently. Certain things like Black people can understand, white people won't understand, and it just makes things difficult for them. So,
yeah.
And think about
like
it. My girl Dominican, there's certain things she don't get because being Haitian, it's just like, why you like, it's a hard time for her to understand. I'm just like, being Haitian, that's the way certain things were, you know? But now she's starting to understand more, but it could definitely hold up shit and make it difficult. But I don't think it should stop you, but I just think y'all just got to be open.
I don't think it should either. I don't think it should ever stop anything because...
And you got to support each other because, man, you're going to need it.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. Are you comfortable with enough being on an island with that person? Because both sides of your family could look at the person that you're with and be like, I'm not fucking with you no more. Yeah. Are you comfortable enough to be on that island by yourself? And that's my advice to y'all is to make sure that you are, because if you're not, you gotta nip this shit in the bud.
Because I saw a perfect example. It was an interracial couple where the mother was white and the father's Black, and then the child said he never met his mother's brothers or sisters because they just didn't approve of it. And I'm just like, damn, that is crazy. So he only knows one side of his family.
But that's the thing. Who's they? Who's they who never approved of it?
How you call it? The mother,
the grandparents.
The Black side never did.
The white side didn't approve of.
That's my point. You see that? You create an entire family with a human being, and his side is keeping isn't that crazy, son?
And he was like, it was so bad. He said he can't even point them out because he doesn't even know how they look because he never seen them before. And I'm just like, that's crazy. So it's like a whole side of family. He has no clue that these strangers.
And that's why at times I do have a certain place. Like I do have a certain like soft spot for these little for the half and half kids, because like, where do you stand? Like, where do you stand?
But hey, that's some of them. Some of them it works out perfect. Some of them have great families.
Or some of them lean into the side that works out good for them. It's tough, man. And I just want to let y'all little couples know, y'all gotta talk about some real shit, man. Y'all got to. Because y'all can't just jump into this shit because y'all create human beings who are going to be human beings who create other human beings.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important. You can't nip that stuff in the bud. That's like the first.
You can't sidestep these conversations. You got to face these things head on. And that's the same thing for even Black couples who's dealing with a child like somebody who's first born American. And you're a Black American through and through. Yeah, I got to talk about this stuff because eventually these same problems going to show up. They're going to rear their ugly head, and y'all got to make sure y'all on the same front. Because you don't ever want a child who goes home to his grandmother and she Haitian, she talking shit, or like she Jamaican or whatever, any West Indian island Black person saying it, or African talking shit about Black Americans. Meanwhile, their father, their mother is a Black American. And they know trials and tribulations that you may never, ever rest in. I want us all to be united. We got a lot of white people in our corner fighting for us. We got to take them seriously. But they have to be serious about what they're doing. That's the biggest thing. I've had white friends come to me, talk to me, be like, yo, man, how you doing? Da, 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 da. And initially at the first part of it, I'm just like, I took it as lip service. Maybe it's not. We can't be so cynical. I'm just speaking from my personal experience. All right, y'all. Okay, it got a little too heavy.
You about to cry?
No. It's just.
All right. Black power. Don't forget that.
Black love. Black lives matter.
Word.
Black everything. Listen.
You done yet? Or you gonna still get?
He about to cry.
No, I'm not. I'm not about to cry. She was gonna catch.
Man, I tell you, I got.
Wrap it up. All right. It's been another episode of the Peak No Podcast. I'm your host. Remember, spread black love, spread greatness, be great, be all that, you know, and don't spread hate because hate will burn your body through and through. All right, go ahead, bitch nigga. We out.